Welcome. A few weeks ago, you've seen me building this shrine. It guides me towards doing more light projects. I've put the link down below in case you haven't seen it. And before I can open this desired package of new old stock vintage light bulbs, I want to compare them on a technical level. Yeah, I could simply dick around with LEDs and trust my naked eye, but I'm too German for that. So, before building my first prototypes, I need an Ulbricht sphere. But what does an Ulbricht sphere do? Well, it basically is just a sphere you can put your light source inside. Let me just draw that in. It is sealed so no light from outside can come in. And ideally it is a perfect reflectant on the inside, so you get a homogeneous diffuse light. The bigger the better, so your arrow shrinks, and then you can add a port, so you will attach your measuring device on that, and let me just draw that in. Presto! You are good to go. For starters, I got this Oppo Bluetooth device that should suffice to start with. I just want to have a relatable comparison. Yeah. And now I just need a sphere. And, well, those acrylic ones should work. Simply coat them with some aluminum tape to block off the light and coat it white. With this. This is barium sulfate, and it is the ideal coating material as it is the whitest pigment known after using sintered Teflon. And after watching Dark Waters and The Devil We Know, I don't want to mess with that. So, barium sulfate it is. Let's begin this beautiful journey. Welcome to the second part of this video. My first problem to tackle, so I thought, was to distribute that shown barium sulfate powder as evenly as possible. And so I bought a few gadgets, like sieves, one that is specially meant for powdered sugar, some funnels, this cosmetic thingamabob for talcum powder, and same but different in form of a pumping spray bottle. In the end, none of these worked properly. I ended up using a brush, but I'm getting ahead of myself right now. To be safe, let's put on a mask. I know barium sulfate isn't toxic by any means, but you shouldn't inhale fine powders nonetheless. Both of those pumping devices were total crap. They weren't reliable and worked only in one specific position. This is maybe okay in a barber shop, but not usable to coat several square meters evenly. The next big thing was modding this icing sugar sieve. I found this beautiful test sieve very cheaply. It is out of stainless and has a brass ring. These materials alone would be worth what I've paid for scrapped. It has a diameter of only 9 microns, and I mean metric. Very awesome, and I wanted my icing sugar device to be comparable. So I added this fine mesh into the machine just so it jams constantly. Thus I added additional springs. Very MacGyvery, but not really interesting. I was very proud modding this thing at that time. I've got hours of footage, but only to ditch it later. Okay, let's get some samples ready. This is what I've learned so far working a bit at the lacquer and paint factory. I wanted to test how the coating would behave on aluminium, as I thought about using some aluminium tape to block off the light. I was curious if I could leave the acrylic half spheres as they are, and of course black plastic if I would prime it to also keep light out. I wiped everything down with alcohol thoroughly and added this contrasting sticker to see if the coating is opaque. And on the plastic sheets I added aluminum plates to measure the thickness of the coating afterwards. Sounds terrific, right? Okay, then let's add a few coats of this barium sulfate powder with... yeah, spray adhesive. At that time, I really thought I got it. The glue wasn't really dry then and it looked pure white and opaque. But after a few days, the coating shifted into a yellow, and this is what I got now. It is brown. Simply brown. Just brown. Nothing else. I can just see brown. It isn't even opaque anymore, even though I got a really thick coating. I'm not sure why I was so naive to think spray adhesive would be color stable long term. That's a failure. No, I need to find a better suited binder for my journey. And for that I'll need more coffee. Lots of it. And if you want to help me out a bit, there's a thing. And if you want to help me out a bit, there's a link down below. Thanks in advance. And that wraps it up for today. And have I mentioned that I designed my own paper with my own logo on it? Markings as a border and in the center for punching some holes, but not too intrusive when I want to use the whole page. With some gray checkers so I can copy it without seeing the lines, Xerox it, and the colors tend to pop a bit more on it. But that's just me. I'm weird like that.